Delaware. You know, I just love this media thing. And today I had a beautiful opportunity to meet again and talk to one of the most dynamic men in media that I ever met in my life. The voice like no other, Mr. Richard Blackwell. Mr. Richard Blackwell, what's up? How you doing?
Mr. Ivan Thomas, my brother. How you doing, man?
I am fine, sir. I am fine. What's happening? How's the weather over
I
there?
can't I can't believe I'm on your program.
Oh,
Mom, guess what? I made it. I made it.
how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Anytime that I get to spend some time with you, Mr. Thomas, is a great day.
Oh man, it's a privilege. It's a privilege. Now, a lot of people. I remember I when I first ran across you in 2013. You were producing like Richard Blackwell's. It was at the Queen. You had like Tracy A and some other amazing artists that you was putting together.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, a R&B soul concert. And when I heard your voice, I was like, "Who the heck is that dude? That dude is major."
Well,
So,
it's funny, Ivan, because I've been following you ever since I don't know, man, probably for the last 10 years
oh my
or
gosh.
so. I'm like, Ivan Thomas, this guy is phenomenal.
No, and like I said before, you have definitely paved the way to for brothers like me, and so I just want to say salute to you, OG. And if you don't know what OG mean, OG means original gangster. So thanks again, Mr. Blackwell. Now, Mr. Blackwell, you've been around the industry for many of years, and if I'm not mistaken, you started your career in LA, right? Or was it way before
That's
somewhere else before that? But you definitely came out of
no,
LA.
it was Los Angeles, probably 1976 is when I first got into it. But Ivan, just like you, this is something, radio, television, that's something I wanted to do ever since I was a kid. It's always been in my blood to want to do this. And I just been blessed. And I thank God every day for the opportunities.
Oh man, it's so. Take me back to like when you first started. How did you first get started, Mr. Blackwell? And if you're just tuning in, this is your main man, Big Ive, with Mr. Blackwell. This is a special event of small business and event roll call. So I want to make sure that if you're a business owner, put in the comments below the name of your business, and we're going to make sure that we shout you out. But I also got special guests that I bring in on this business roll call so you can, learn something from them and just see like where their hustle came and how they came about and all the great stuff that they've done in their career path. And hopefully that will inspire you to be a better you and to give a little bit more oomph when you feel like giving up. That cool, Mr. Blackwell?
That's cool. And as you know, Ivan, that is so cool. And it's all about inspiring each other. You have inspired me through the years. And I'm telling you, man, you've been a blessing to me. But that's what it's all about. It's us being a blessing to others.
Awesome, awesome. So take me back when how you first got started in the industry.
First, I got started in 1976. I was one of the first club DJs back in the 70s in Los Angeles. I did that for probably about 30 years in LA, working in clubs. But I started working in a club in 1976. Then I broke into radio in 1977. So I did radio in Los Angeles for 18 years. I was the first DJ that you could hear on the radio
Wow,
and party with in the club
wow,
5 nights a week. So it's been a lot. It's been fun.
yeah.
It's been fun.
Was it when you first got in when you were in the industry in LA? Was it hard for a black man in radio back then?
You know what? It was hard for to a degree,
Hmm.
but I knew that this is what I was meant to do.
Right, right,
Um, God paved my way because Ivan, I believe in God putting people in your path
right,
for your success,
right.
and that is what has happened to me from ever since I was a kid. God has placed somebody in my path who has inspired me, instructed me,
Hmm.
and opened doors for me. It's phenomenal as to how some of the things for me have come about.
Hmm.
And but it's I look back and it's just all God.
What advice would you give young guys, especially in this world? Because I know you've seen media changed over the course of 30 years, and right now we're more into the digital aspect of things. What advice would you give someone that's up and coming and new in the industry, or just trying to get? Let's start with the ones that's trying to get started. What advice would you give them?
I would tell them to persevere, stay true to yourself. If you feel this is something that you want to do it. If God has put it in your heart and in your mind to accomplish things in media or whatever in life,
Hmm.
put that foot forward and make it happen because He will be behind you 1,000%. See, Ivan, I believe in faith.
Hmm.
I believe in believing in Him.
Right.
When you believe in Him, then He will move mountains in order to make you achieve your success. I look at what you have done for the state of Delaware and for the people, all the magnificent things you have done.
Thank you.
And you are a blessing. And that's what we have to be.
Hmm.
If we approach what we do with the mindset of being a blessing to others, then we continue to be blessed.
Right, right. And no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that's exactly what I believe that we, just as people in general, regardless of what we look like and regardless of color, that when we, in the day's word is intention. When our intentions are right and set forth to help others, the world is paved and the path is paved for us. When you got started and in the industry, and first of all, let me go back. Let me hear that radio voice real quick. Like your intro from when I want to hear your intro, like your radio call from way back when, and let me hear you with your radio call now.
Oh man, way back then I was at 102.3 KJLH, which is owned by Stevie Wonder, and now Ivan, I'm working at 91.3 WVUD. And folks, right now you're with Blackwell and Thomas on DETV.
Man, you can't miss that, boy. I'm telling you. And shout out to all the business owners that's hopping on this feed right now.
Yeah,
We wanna. If you got a question for Mr. Blackwell, feel free to just write it in the comments below. Shout out to my man Ben Lopez, All Pro Solutions. Shout out to my man. All Pro Solutions. Shout out to my man Kenneth E. Johnson, MBA. A shout out to
yeah,
you, big brother, and shout out to my home girl DSU all day. Hornet for life, Veronica Hodges. Shout out. She said this Sunday, 25 vendors outside. Wear your mask. Make sure you wear your mask right there. So, Mr. Blackwell, you're in
yes.
radio. You're doing your thing. What was the hardest part of being in the industry that you ran across, and how did you come through that?
Well, Ivan, in the 70s, and that's when I started. I don't know, with me, Ivan, it was just a matter, like I said, it was God putting the right people in my place. When I first wanted to get in radio, people would say, forget it, you'll never make it,
Hmm.
you would never do it.
Hmm.
That's what I would hear as I was trying to get my foot in the door.
Hmm.
But ultimately, I believe that I can do this.
Hmm.
And I thank God when I look back on it, it has worked beautifully for me. I think the hardest part was just understanding this is where I belong.
Hmm.
Because sometimes we can be put in a situation and we wonder, do we really belong here? Is
Mm.
this what I really should be doing? But you have to feel in your heart, I belong here.
Right.
I'm supposed to be doing this. This is me. And once that ball got to rolling, it was one thing after another for me. And once again, I just thank God for all the blessings. It's been a wonderful, wonderful career for me.
Right. Awesome. What would you do different if you could do it again? What would you do different?
Well, if I had to do it, to be honest, I would see, I did what I did. When I got started, it was for fun.
Hmm.
And it took me a while to understand the business aspect of what this is all about. And I think if I had to do it differently, I would look at the business aspect of it differently than I did when I first got started. That happened after I went to school, because I went to school for radio and television, but then I went to school for business. And that was when I realized how to apply my business ethics to my broadcasting. and that's what's made me into what I am today.
Oh, wow. Wow. Shout out to Anthony Brown. He said, hello, Mr. Blackwell.
Yeah, and Anthony, my man.
Kenneth E. Johnson has a question for you, Mr. Blackwell. He said,
Sure.
what were the sacrifices you made and habits you had to build to be successful?
Working at your craft. Anyone who's doing what we do, Mr. Thomas, or wants to do, you got to work on it. And that requires dedication. We all may have some God-given talent, but what we need is to work on that. If God has given it to you, we have to hone it.
Right.
We have to work on it. We have to perfect it. So it's just a matter of working hard at what you do, no matter what, speaking, listening, just working with your craft to any degree.
Now I know, and and Kenny and I talked offline before, but I don't think we ever got into it. I know like some of the sacrifices that I had was like it wasn't going to the parties. It wasn't going when everybody else wanted to go out and eat and hang out. I was like, nah, I got to beat on my craft. I have a strong work ethic and understanding of beating on getting something right, learning camera angles. When you were in the radio, when you were in, or not when, back in 80s, 90s, even now, like what things did you have to put aside, to say, I'm going to get better?
Just understanding what you need to do, especially Ivan being in Los Angeles, which is but next to the movies, radio is the second biggest industry in Los Angeles. You want to sound good, no matter who is listening, because you never know when you're on the radio if Denzel Washington is listening. You don't know if Halle Berry is listening. You don't know who is listening. So therefore, you want your program to be the best. And it doesn't even have to be a superstar listening. You want to make sure you're doing the best so you can give the best to your listeners. Yeah. That's the most important thing. No matter who is listening, give them the best that you have.
And with that is, how important is it giving a quality piece, giving the best you can give? How important is that?
It's very vital. And one way to accomplish that, Mr. Thomas, is to critique yourself. I'm a firm believer that I don't care what type of program you're doing, you have to watch it. You have to see your mistakes. You have to see where you can improve. As a radio broadcaster, I always record my shows. I have millions of tapes and flash drives of my performances where I can go back and listen. Yeah. And I critique myself because I want to be the best. So therefore, I listen to what I said, the way I said it, and I said, and then I said, could I convey that a different way? Could I made it easier for people to understand? Because as you know, Mr. Thomas, you want to present things that are simple for people to comprehend.
Yeah, actually, you're absolutely right. What's going on, everybody? It's your man. If you're just catching on, I'm here with an amazing man, Mr. Richard Blackwell, and Mr. Blackwell has been around in the radio industry for over 30 years. He has a voice that's dynamic. He has a hustle that's dynamic. He is just an amazing vessel, and I'm having him here. If you're just joining us, I want you to put the name of your business. This is a special edition of DETV's Small Business Event Roll Call. If you got an event coming up, put it in the comments. If you have your name of your business, put it in. Regina Ramson said, "What's up? Hello, guys." Hey, Regina, how are you, sister? I love this because we get to interact with people. They can ask, and if you have any question that you want to ask myself or Mr. Blackwell, please ask, because we got to get better. And my whole thing, and I remember God said to me a long time ago, I will use you to use others to make others better. So that's what this is about right here.
That's it.
Kenneth Johnson said, who were your mentors and key influencers?
My mentors were, I grew up, I was born in Chicago. And I moved to Los Angeles at 18. I left home at 18. And in Chicago, you watch Soul Train. Don Cornelius was one of my mentors. He worked at the radio station I grew up listening to in Chicago, WVON. I used to listen to the radio religiously. back when they had the little 9-volt transistor. I know I'm dating myself.
Go ahead, man. Talk to him.
It's no big deal.
Talk to him.
Even listening to the 9-volt transistor, I used to listen to the disc jockeys.
Okay.
I used to listen to what they say, how they said it, and it always seemed like it was fun. It seemed like that was a great gig, and that was one of the things to lead me to believe I could do this.
Nice.
And ultimately, I thank God for moving me to Los Angeles. At 18, I left my family, and I said, I'm gone.
What made you
I want
leave?
to move
What made
to
you
do
leave?
what I have to do. Yeah, and it panned out to work out extremely well for me in my career.
What made you just like leave like Chicago? To just go at
First of all,
18. That's a big move. And what year was
yeah,
that? 19.
1972.
Yeah, what was that like? Jeez.
I graduated from high school in June,
Uh-huh.
and July I was in California.
Get out of here.
Primarily, now to tell you honestly, it was the weather in Chicago. Those minus 18-degree days during the winter, I couldn't take it anymore. Couldn't take it. It was the weather.
Here's the weather. It's your main man, Big Ive. I'm here with Richard, the amazing Richard Blackwell, here on DETV, live at night. And I just wanted to bring some amazing man to you, so you could, so my people can see who I look up to, and I get, a lot of inspiration from, and a piece of my work ethic from. This guy's awesome,
That's beautiful. And what you just said is beautiful, Mr. Thomas, because I feel the same about you. Everything you just said, describing your feelings for me, I feel the same way about you. You are an awesome young man, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you.
And what you're doing is even greater. And the state of Delaware should thank God for you.
Man, look, let me tell you something. You and we talk a lot about people that influence us, and what we don't know, and this Kenneth, you can tell it, throw a thumbs up if you're still on, is we watch people, we watch our the ones before us, our elders, right? And we mimic, and they inspire us to be great, to greatness. So I remember, and the thing about it is, we don't know who's watching. We don't even know who's influencing us on that. Let me see. Mega Chin, what's up, brother? He said, bless up, Ivan. Ivan, if he is your inspiration, then what success to you? What is success to you? Great question. Success to me, Mega, is to see other people make it. That's a thing. My homegirl Elle just told me that the conversation we had a while ago. She said, "Do you remember the time that you told me that our job, our duty, is to make sure other people win?" And that's success to me, because I was a guy that was counted out. I was a guy that was ridiculed. I was a guy that they laughed at when I said, I got an idea to start this TV and media thing. They thought I was crazy. And just like they thought, Mr. Blackwell was crazy in 1972, moving from Chicago at 18 to LA. And look, he influenced me because someone influenced him. So that's what success is. It's not about the dollar, because the dollar come, friends come, but just to see. And one thing, and I'm gonna cut my shoebox short, is the black and brown kids that come in the studio and they see a black guy running a station, they say, I want to do something like that. So shout out to your question, brother. Mr. Blackwell and Mega Chen, bless up to you, bro. And you're a big inspiration too. I love what you have done and what you became, bro. Mr. Blackwell.
Yes.
What was it like when you saw Don Cornelius, like in like when you saw that inspiration as a young black guy in Chicago? What was that time like? Take me back there.
Well, it was awesome because he wasn't the Don Cornelius that we know of Soul Train.
Okay.
This was before Soul Train. I could tell you about how Soul Train began. Soul Train began in a little room, and it was an after-school thing for kids where kids could go and dance after school.
Okay.
He turned that into a mega program worldwide when he sold it to multimedia in 1976. He blew everybody off the charts. But watching him and his success, watching others in this industry gave me the idea that I could do this. And Ivan, if I could say, Ivan Thomas, is that having the right attitude will always open the door for you.
Right.
One thing about me is I felt, and I'm blessed to have the right attitude. That's very vital.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the right attitude, people are not going to want to be bothered with you. They are not going to want to spend time. I have been blessed to have been taught by some of the best of the radio personalities, TV people in Los Angeles. I have been blessed. And because I've had the right attitude.
Yeah.
So it's also about having the right attitude and wanting to learn, wanting to pick up and perfect your craft. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Always, what is it? Always remain as a student. That's it. That's it.
We're always learning. No matter who we are, we never know it all. Yeah. And that's the most important thing. No matter where you are in your life or in your career, you never know it all.
There you go. There you go. What are some of the major names that you worked with?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know. Steve Harvey. I worked with Steve Harvey. I worked with Stevie Wonder for 3 years. I worked at his radio station, KJLH. But a lot of the people that I worked with, you would know because you lived in that area. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, radio is so regional. If you're out of that region, you may not know. Mm-hmm. But I've worked with some very heavy people in the business, and they taught me a lot. I remember when I first started, Mr. Thomas, in 1976, they used to call me the kid.
Hey, kid.
Hey, they used to call me the kid. And I thought that was so cool. But what was phenomenal was people that I met, the recording artists, right. Minnie Riperton, it's John Lucien. It's just unbelievable. Shaka Khan, the Jackson 5. So many people that I have had a chance to be with, rub elbows with because of being in that situation.
Nice. Kenneth has another question for us. He said, please talk about the importance of vision and goal setting.
Yeah. Well, first, everybody knows first comes the vision.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, talk to him. I need some sound effects. Can I get some sound effects in here?
First, you got to have that vision. And to me, Brother Kenneth, that vision comes from God. When God plants a vision in your head, you have to move forward on it. Because if that vision comes from God, that means that it is meant to be successful. Do what you have to do to work on that vision. Make it happen as you take step. And that's what I believe in. I believe in taking things step by step. Make sure you've got one thing taken care of before you move to the next level. Then that way you don't have to look back and say, oh man, I got to go back and do this. No, make sure as you make each step a progression that you're moving forward with your path.
How about now? Let's jump over to goal setting.
Yeah. Well, goal setting, once you see your vision, then you start setting your goals to make that vision work. For instance, Ivan, on my wall, you see just a few of the shows that I've produced over the last 12 years. And every show that I've produced comes from a vision. Mm-hmm. You mentioned, Ivan, the show that I did with Tracy A back in 2013, and we did a few others, but those come from a vision and then putting that down to make it happen. You have to be committed. You have to say, I want to see this through. I want to make this happen.
Nice. Love it. Man, I'm so, you guys don't understand. Like, I really get the time to sit with a living legend.
No,
real rap. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Nah, bro. We're going the kettle calling the pot black. I'm telling you. I get the opportunity. Now, this is the thing. I am not a college graduate. I did not go to college for media. I did not go to school for media. But I now have the biggest media outlet for black and brown and white people together combined in the state of Delaware. And the reason that is here is for a hodgepodge, a witch's brew of different things, goals, vision, and the opportunity to sit with living legends like yourself and learn from. That way, that's my college, that's my university. So I don't say that sparingly. I don't say that, to brag. I say that because I'm grateful. And for a brother like me that was counted out early in the game, before the cards were shuffled, before they were dealt, I have the opportunity, and it means so much to me, and it means so much. And these brothers and sisters that's on this feed right now asking these questions, it means something to us. And that's saying, Mr. Blackwell, we appreciate you, your accomplishments, and even your failures, because we as the younger generation are learning from that. We from the younger generation will take that, put it in our jacket, and then show the younger people underneath us what Mr. Blackwell shared with us. So again, thank you. And I feel honored that you gave me some time and space out of your life to come on and talk to us. So look, bro, I appreciate you. Again,
let me say this. Mr. Thomas, you are the one. You are phenomenal. You are the one that people are learning from. You are the one that is demonstrating the right attitude and the way to deal with what you're working with. You are in the spotlight every day, and you never let yourself down. So therefore, you never let your people down. You never let this state of Delaware down. You do everything you can, my brother, to make it happen. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm honored to be here on this program with you, Mr. Thomas.
Oh, man, my man. If you just tuned in, Fred Fitzgerald said, thank you, Mr. Blackwell and brother Ivan Thomas. My man, Fred, brother, I love what you're doing over there at Studio 22. I got to give you guys a shout. If you're just tuning in, this is live and direct from the DETV's Control Room studio here in Wilmington, Delaware. This is a special edition of Small Business and Event Roll Call. If you're a business owner watching, do me a couple things. Share this right now so someone else can be blessed. 2, also put the name of your business or event that you're having. And so, because we believe here at DETV that our platform is your platform, and we want to make sure that everyone gets to see the greatness that you provide for you and your family. So, Mr. Blackwell, before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about. We talked about then. Let's talk about now. Let's talk about what you're doing now, because, bruh, I'm seeing you on Saturday night doing the daggone thing in the basement with the oldies. Talk to them. Talk to them.
That's the Saturday night party in place, old school house party. It's taking me back to my beginnings in 1976 when I was in the clubs jamming all the hits. They weren't oldies back then. They were the current songs. But now they're oldies. And every Saturday from 9 until midnight on Facebook, you could tune in as I bring the party to you. Since we can't go out and do it the way we want to, the Saturday night party in place, old school house party, is where you can get the family together, move the furniture out the way, and party.
Not move the furniture. Not move the furniture, though. It's going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing. You're not having. Wait a minute. You're not having them red light parties, are you? You're not doing them.
No. We're jamming. Non-stop and commercial free. And something else I'm working on real quick, Brother Thomas, Ivan Thomas, is that I'm also starting the live stream programs. Anyone who knows, for the last 10 years, I've been presenting the best live entertainment between Delaware, Philadelphia, and New Jersey. Yeah. So what we're going to do, because of the pandemic and these artists can't be on stage, I'm going to be presenting some outstanding live entertainment, and they're going to be live streamed. Yeah. So that's going to be starting up in October, so you will be hearing about those as well.
Awesome. It's crazy. My man Fred just put on there red light special right now. But Fred, did
everybody remembers those?
Hey Fred, did you hear him when he said putting on the hits, jamming on the hits? Look, that's what it's all about. My man.
That's what it's all about.
What it's all about. We get ready to get out of here. Is there anything before we depart, sir, that you want to tell the people? Word of inspiration, word of encouragement. Tell the young brothers and sisters that that's in media right now, that's on. Anything that you want to tell them, sir?
Definitely, Brother Ivan. I just want to let them know to stay true to your dreams. If you have a vision, step forward and make that vision work, because you can look back on that 6 months from now, 8 months from then, a year or two. You can look back and see where you were and where you are now with your vision. So whatever you do, through the grace of God, just keep moving forward and make it happen.
There you have it. There you have it, Mr. Blackwell. Thank you so much for time and space. It's your main man,
No,
Big Ive.
thank you, Big Ive. I love you, man.
I love you too, brother. I love you too. It's your
God
main man.
bless your family.
Oh, same to
Yeah.
you, sir. It's your main man, Big Ive, the talk of the town, the hardest working man in media in the state of Delaware, Mr. DETV, CH.com. And look, this is the special edition, and we're going to keep bringing this to you. This is DETV, Small Business Roll Call, an event roll call. DETVCH.com, channel 28. Make sure you tune in. Follow us if you're not following us. And everyone that's out there, remember, it's right here. I'm going to put it right here. Everyone against racism. That's what we're doing here. And we're great. Sign out, and I'll see you on the other side.